did a SupBrah. Obviously, we had a pretty good time throwing that first SupBrah together, and then we made Paul Walker's special version, which was just turn the quality up to ridiculous and keep going. So that little fella there, all said and done, kind of had to go back and make the Beamer one too. As weird as it is, and as sad as it is for a lot of people who can't afford these cars, they all want it to be the Hot Wheels car we've got in our heads. You know what I mean? Like it has to have a new 3Z engine. It's got to have all this like Toyota stuff from the 90s and shit. It shouldn't even have airbags in this fucking thing. Like, you know, we just want this Hot Wheels car that doesn't exist anyway. For them to make it out of the factory and then just destroy themselves with insurance, right? So that's what we're all hoping for. And Toyota looked at the you know, it being Toyota, and they're probably looking at like some numbers on a chart or something like that, right? And they go, oh, who's been building reliable engines like the formula we're looking for here, you know? Like Toyota builds really nice V8s, V12s, V6s, but after like the two J's and the 1J's and shit like that, it's been Beamer that's been building the nice stuff, right? And reliably wise too. My friend's got an E92. He bought it secondhand for like $20,000. Really nice one. I think it's the IS model with the extra turbos and all that stuff. And it's just been electronics. It's just little, like, oh, it'll throw a code and you go get a new coil pack, stuff like that. It doesn't like being driven on a empty pump or empty tank, and it tells you. It freaks out and lets you know you're being a bad boy. So they're a perfect match for this thing. Makes lots and lots of power, like scary amounts of power, and they put them in these tiny little like roadster chassis and compact car looking fucking things, and that's what a BMW is today. And it makes that's essentially what a SupBrah was, so it makes sense to me. That's what they're doing. If you've been behind the wheels of one of these engines, it makes sense. That's why they picked this one out of all the things that were available to them, than just inventing another engine that people weren't buying. Like, folks weren't buying the LF 300s and whatever is those Lexuses that are out there. They got a million names. They don't have like a name like this thing had, right? Like, and that's the weird thing, right? They just named it something, and people freaked out for that name. When in reality, it's not the car that came out of the factory. It's the Paul Walker movie prop that people made into reality later on, you know? So, yeah, why can't they make a Beamer and do the same thing? Really nice injectors. Really sick block design. Fuck, you could be on them all day. Just keep going. It's not a SupBrah though. It's totally a Z4.